PAYNES Prairie Preserve State Park. This is our first adventure video, so let's get started. PAYNES Prairie is located in Micanopy, Florida, which is just south of Gainesville. And if you ever have driven I-75 or US 441 around Gainesville, you've probably driven through it. It is 21,000 acres, which is pretty big size for a state park. You could easily spend days here, but we had 3/4 of a day, so this is what we did. We went in the main entrance and drove all the way to the visitor center parking lot in the back. And on the way, we saw cute little deer, our first animals of the trip. They were right there, close to the beginning, and there was just a few of them hanging out. So we walked up to the visitor center, which is this beautiful building, but unfortunately they were closed. We don't know why. They didn't have a sign of why they were closed. Online it said they were open, the visitor center, so we don't really know why it was closed, but that's okay. We just went ahead and took the Wakuda Trail hike, which takes you to an observation tower where you can look over the prairie and maybe see bison and wild horses. The day we were there, we couldn't see any bison. They were way off in the distance, but we did see a wild horse. It was pretty far off in the distance. I had to use my zoom. It didn't zoom very well. This was the area behind the visitor center. It took you out to Cones Dyke Trail, which is a 4-mile one-way trail. And it says that you could be close up to alligators and bison and wild horses, so stay back, which we didn't see any when we went out on it, and we walk with kids, so we didn't go very far on this trail. We just went out a little ways. We saw the observation tower that we were up earlier, and then we came back. But we did see horse footprints and wildflowers, which I love flowers, so you'll see lots of flower pictures from me. After we were done hiking around the visitor center, we took the main road back to Pudgy Road, where we saw the deer earlier. They were still there. We took it over the road over to Lake Wauberg, where we had a picnic, and there's a playground there for the kids to play on, and there's bathrooms, and there's a boat ramp, and a fishing pier, and lots of beautiful views of Lake Wauberg. We walked over to the bridge and the fishing pier where our youngest spotted these baby alligators. He was so excited to find them. The lake was so beautiful, so much wildlife. There is a lake trail over by Lake Wauberg. It's 0.85 of a mile. We walked a little bit of it, and it had beautiful views of the lake while you were walking on it. Then we got back in our car, we left the main entrance of the park and drove all the way to the north entrance, to the Alachua Trail. It says here that the Alachua Trail is 3 miles round trip. Elevated boardwalk winds around Alachua Sink, leading to sunny, grassy trail through Bison Marsh to observation platform overlooking Alachua Lake. See alligators and abundant wildlife. Let's see what we find.
Yes, and more, and more. And then another one.
There's like a beam there. When you cross through it,
We found remnants of the old Florida Southern Railroad. It says they started laying it in 1882. It says also that 24 trains a day rumbled over your head, moving cattle, timber, cotton, and oranges. Pretty interesting. And then on the trail you walk through an old barn, and it has pictures, and it talks about how the Spanish were the ones who originally brought the horses and the cracker cattle. And also it talks about the bison, where there are historical records that northern and central Florida had bison, but then they were hunted out by the late 1700s. And then it says in 1975, 10 bison were brought to PAYNES Prairie from the Wichita Mountains National Wildlife Refuge in Oklahoma. Since then, several others have been added to the herd, and a managed herd continues to roam the prairie. Right away, as we started walking on the boardwalk, we saw an alligator sunning in the Alachua Sink, and also this limpkin bird and its baby. She was feeding it. It was so cute. It was so cool to see this. We saw so many alligators once we got out to the main hike part of the trail, and great blue herons and turtles. So much wildlife right here.
riding away.
That one went on the water. It did?
He is riding them.
He He's riding away. Oh no.
Oh, he just popped. Did you see that?
He did.
Did I catch that on camera?
The blue heron is making decisions.
This one's like, I'm gonna, oh, it's after this fish. Look, there's a fish up on the bank.
Get it.
It's gonna get it. See? Behind.
That fish luckily got away. It was so neat to see the alligators like this. Normally they're just sunning or they're not moving because they're not eating. They were very active in this area. They were eating all the fish that were flowing out of the Alachua Lake down into the sink, and they were just right there ready to eat them all. It was very exciting for us and the kids to see. So all in all, Payne's Prairie was a really fun adventure we had. We saw tons of animals, hikes, beautiful lakes. So it was a great adventure. If you liked our video, please hit the like button and subscribe, where we're going to have more of these adventure videos. We're going to have virtual hikes from all the places we go. And also we're going to have like quick information videos about the places we go so you can plan your adventure. Because adventures are out there. Are you?